All right, I think we're recording now. I'll confirm this in a few seconds. Hello, this is What's Up Dave with me, Dave. This is my daily stream where I just catch up on my friends on the internet and just review some things I've been doing. Today I am thinking about habits. As in, my habits are terrible and I'm never able to keep them. And I had a thought that perhaps instead of trying to use just sheer willpower to start these habits, I actually need to crutch on something else. And it occurred to me that it's much easier to react to something than it is to will something and initiate it into being. And this has some roots in my design practice, in which when I'm doing an initial piece of design work for clients that are not sure what they want, I make what's called what I call a sacrificial draft, in which I make something and I'm not attached to it at all. I'm just giving them something to react to, because they can't tell me what they really want until they see something they hate, or they see something that goes, "Oh, that's about right, but I wish it was more like this." And so it becomes a foundation for them to provide me with feedback, and then I can take and then I can group into categories and I can align them with design concepts, because that's what I am good at. Okay, just checking this in. So anyway, so by making some kind of reactive template for forming habits, something that's really easy and mechanical, something they don't have to think about, that might be a way of just kind of being more mindful in general. But first, okay, Bill says I'm 5x5 on audio and video. Yes! That's great. I always worry that it never works. But before I go into that, for it's a show and tell, I got this. This is, I don't even know what to call it. It's, my sister was telling me about something her friend Sarah was talking about. That is, because she knows that I've been experimenting with nail polish and trying to find colors and stuff. And she told me about, her friend Sarah has thousands of nail polishes. And the pain in the ass I'm finding with these is that it takes forever to put this stuff on. I don't know how people put up with it. I mean, first you gotta clean, then you gotta take the nail polish off. Then you gotta put this base coat on it so the nail polish adheres to it well and doesn't stain the underlying nail. Then you get to wait for all these things to dry, and you can't move, because the moment that you move and try to do something, you'll screw it up by touching your nails on something, unless you're really mindful of it, which I am not. You just pick up a cup of something like this, and then you'll find you screwed something up, and now it's not. You'll have to start over again. So anyway, it takes hours. First, each layer has to dry and take 10 minutes, but it really only dries, I would say, after an hour or two. So I've been watching a lot of Netflix every time I do that. It's a pain in the ass, and I don't like doing it. So anyway, I think the idea behind this stuff, which actually, surprisingly, we bought on Amazon but shipped all the way from Taiwan, is a peelable base coat that her friend Sarah likes using. So this might make it possible to, I guess, try something and then peel it off. And then there's maybe less prep work involved. So I'm not going to go through the trouble of doing it, because I've already kind of done the colors for this week. This is a some sort of purple from Super Black. Not sure what I feel about it. It's I had to really see it in the sunlight to see if it has the holographic effect it's supposed to have. And then this is this one was called something called Wishful Thinking, from the same company. It's kind of this it's kind of this sparkly unicorn gray. It's a gray base with sparkles in it that are subtle, and the sunlight they're supposed to kind of light up. But it's been kind of overcast, so I haven't seen this happen. So my sister joked "Ha! It is wishful thinking. You thought it would be cool, but it's not." But oh well. At least I am trying out new things. Next week there's these other colors I'll try. So I guess when I get a chance to try this out, I guess I might as well open it up and see what it looks like inside. If I can find my here's something. Find a knife to cut this open with. Let's see. Today I'm wearing a colored shirt because I found it and thought I haven't worn one of these in a long time. Maybe I like it now. Actually, I like the shirt a lot. It's this kind of breathable cotton. And I'm wearing contact lenses today because I'm thinking about going to Starbucks. Look at this stuff. Is this actually made in Taiwan? It is. Huh. So it looks kind of like rubber cement. So I'm curious to see what this stuff is. It's called Ant Nail Lacquer, formaldehyde free. Well, that's nice, because like this must be poisonous, because it's got acetone in it and all these kind of things that I'm sure give you birth defects. Oh, the price of beauty. This is a cool package that they sent it. I've never seen one. It's a bunch of like air tubes that have been, it looks like glued together at the sides, and then there's this kind of pack that opens up. And so like this was shipped overseas in mail, and it was this is a very resilient package. I wonder who makes this. I wonder if we can get the stuff here. But yeah. So it's a good thing I was home to receive this, because there goes a customs declaration for it. Anyway, that's that for now. There's nothing really else for show and tell today. I have some stuff coming in. Like I actually bought a nail. Like if I'm gonna commit to this nail polish thing, it's going to be, I'm gonna have some way of storing it. Like on top of my head is kind of like a growing cosmetics section, like way in the back over there, and it's getting out of hand. So I bought this plastic case that looks like I could compactly store 36 of them in a kind of cube-like fashion. I'm kind of excited by it, actually, because I'll be able to like have all this essentially a palette of colors that are all arranged in these little boxes. And so, and you know, if you know anything about my design style, like if there's anything I like, it's putting colors in boxes. So I think that ties into this whole like part of this nail polish thing. It's like, yeah, there's colors in little bottles, and there's millions of them, and there's different finishes, and it's unexpectedly interesting. Well, maybe not unexpectedly. I think I would be naturally drawn to this kind of thing. Yeah, but like it's not something like cigars, which I could see myself getting into, except I don't like the smoke of it. Cigars are pretty cool because they have cigar boxes, and then there's different kinds of tobacco, and you know, and you can savor the experience, and you can try each one out. So they're kind of like, and there's that tradition of, I don't know, things like that fascinate me. I also started getting distracted by pocket watches. It turns out that people are making pocket watches really cheap, mostly in China, I'm guessing. And so there's all these different styles, particularly with the steampunk ones. There's this kind that's like a round glass globe that I'm really intrigued by. I might have to order one. They're like really cheap. They're like $5, and they probably don't keep time very well, and they're probably hard to open and replace the battery if you can even do that. But it might be really, I kind of just want it as an object. So we'll see. So anyway, let's get on talking to habits. I'm about 8 minutes into this. Let me set a timer here just so I don't go over long. Let's see if I can pace myself. Again, an example of a reactive device. If I had to remember to look at the time, you know, that's just one more bit of friction to the day. So let's go to chat mode here, and let's see, what am I talking about today? Habits. All right, so there's a few things that I'm trying to do. I'm trying to get back on track for my personal projects. My personal projects are currently as defined. Let me pull up my index here and switch to screen view. It says switch to screen view. And this is the intentful projects for October, which is almost over. My goal is to close these long-staying projects for good. Either finish them or close them forever. I have until the end of October to come to one of those conclusions. The blog, that's going to keep open, but this is the one about building a new a website system. And I guess my excuse is for the past 2 weeks I was doing an unexpected server transition for a legacy client I have. But now that that's over, that's been over since Monday, basically. Since, I guess, yesterday. It seems like a week has passed since yesterday. Yeah, but I didn't make I didn't do any work on it yesterday. In fact, what did I do? So let me check my notebook here. Let's see, where's the auxiliary camera? Here's this. This is like a swatch card that I made to see what colors would like. This is that. This is the wishful thinking one, and this is. I think this is. I forget what this is called. What? So apparently this is called swatching. Anyway, people have index cards and databases filled with nail polishes, which is amazing. So, according to this, yesterday was Therapist Day, so that's usually a day of reflection. I did a lot of writing, I did a lot of priority setting. I spent an hour looking at pocket watches. I did some email responses, but then I just basically after 9 p.m. I just fell asleep. I did work on this, so in a way that this gave me an idea for like a new add-on to the ETP products. I'm thinking of talking to my printer and seeing if he can print on acetate or something like this. And then I then have some words and brand on it. It looks like I just lost my internet. There's power. I just felt a power spike, so this might die. Let me know if it does. I guess I'll go back to. Let me monitor this. Looks like we're still have internet. Anyway, so how to do this? How to look at the habit building. So anyway, I have these goals. The Patreon stuff that's ongoing. These are not going to die. This framework. In fact, I don't actually have a choice for stopping any of these. This maybe I could just drop though. This can wait, because that will be based on the blog stuff. No, I'm on the wrong screen. Sorry. So like this last one down here, the Nerd Magazine. This can wait because it's dependent on the blog stuff. There's also another project I didn't put in here, which is the Thoughtomato project, which is related to the blog. This is related to the blog system. A superset of its capabilities. In fact, they are actually the same system, now that I think about it. So actually, let me move this to this. So speaking about being reactive, I think one of the reactive approaches I'm going to take is I really just need to review these notes every day and maybe make that the focus of the habit building project. So in a moment I'm going to write down what these habits are. All right, I'm spacing out now. So, okay, so let me see if I can talk this out. So the idea of having reactive habits is, well, first let me list the habits that I want. So I want to be more mindful about making progress on those projects. I want to be taking my medicines, for, I'm type 2 diabetic now. I want to be mindful about what I'm eating. And I think what the issue is that I'm not actually reviewing my goals every day. And so it's something as dumb and like noobish as that. Excuse me. I don't have a good habit for that. And it's because maybe for someone like me, I like to have like a very concise description. There were some times when I was doing monthly challenges, and when I started up doing the challenge, and I think I even have videos of these, is that the first day I would write out what I thought I wanted to do. And then the next day I would actually read what I did yesterday, which would be like a paragraph or something like that, and see if it still made sense to me and if I wanted to refine it. And that process of continual review of it, like over a period of a week, I would end up with like a pretty tight, pretty pretty nuanced description of what it is that I wanted to do. And but then after that, like having felt that I had the clarity I needed, I would tend not to look back at it. I think I really just need to look at it every single day. So I need to have some place where I'm looking at something every single day. And normally you'd think that would be the ETP, but there's something about the way that I'm structuring the ETP that's not making it work. And I think that is also because my waking schedule has been so random. And so I don't have a start of the day. So generally, if I wake up anytime after 9 a.m., I feel like I've missed the start of the day, and that maybe kills my my motivation. And I think this is probably pretty common with people to have that feeling. But I think if I make it the habit, the start of the day, less of a time-based definition, but really more of like, okay, it's time to work. And then the next immediate habit is to read my goal statement. And then the next immediate habit is to go look at my Quiver notebook and see where I left off on that. And then the next habit for that is to be able to post or log what I got done in my blog notebook. My revised blog, that is, which is more of a research notebook. I think that might feel productive, and it would be, oops. Okay, so I'm at 15 minutes now. It would be, I'm going to start the timer again. It would be a way of restarting constantly during the day. So instead of thinking about starting the day once, and then if I miss it, then I feel like I've screwed up for the day. It's like, okay, I have more periods of time during the day when I'm doing this renewal thing. So like it's like almost, it is 4:19 right now. And so, by most sane measures, this would be like, toward the end of the day, not toward the beginning of the day. But since I woke up only like a couple hours ago, it kind of is the beginning of the day. And there are habits I can certainly start. So let me do a little bit of writing on this. Let me switch over to screen mode. And let me see if I can define some stuff here. Actually, it's not a bad idea. Let me move this to this desktop. But over there, let's shrink this down. Looks like no one's watching. So I can write in silence. So this untitled note is new habit regimen, let's call it. And the new habit regimen needs to have, how would I describe this? Instead of, here's a hypothesis. Instead of thinking of designating the early morning as a start of the day, instead I can make any time a restart or a starting session. What I need to do, however, that means making a few mental shifts. So one mental shift would be would be decoupling my association with a day of opportunity from early morning starts. This has the downside of not feeling the day is good for anything if I miss the morning. So I think that's essential. So I should be okay with starting at any time. And this makes sense, right? You shouldn't have to think that the morning is the only time you can start something, but there is this kind of glorious sense of it. The day feels full of possibility when it's early in the morning. Maybe this is like just a biorhythm thing or something. But my biorhythms are so screwed up right now, I can't rely on it. You know, I can always drink coffee, I suppose. Yeah, there's part of me that wants to be in sync with everybody else too, but I think at this point, I feel so under the gun for getting these personal projects underway again that it's hard for me to even to let go of it. So I'm really dwelling on it. And you could tell me not to dwell on it, but I could tell you to stop being stupid and suggesting that to me because it's not going to happen. So let's just go with this other working theory rather than me feeling bad because I can't meet some expectation that someone else might have of me that I don't even know. Yeah, I should be fine with that. So secondly, what is another mental shift that I need to make? To support the restart, have a startup ritual that is part review of goals and part, I guess, well, let's keep these, instead of compounding this this section into multiple statements that I had to reconcile. To support restarts, have a startup ritual that creates a reaction response rather than requiring a willpower response. Reacting is easier than initiating from scratch. The first time I do this, I'm going to have to initiate it. But the second time, it should be something that's easy to do. To find and do. And so the third thing, I'm tempted to write, I need continuity on this too. But I think that might actually create more work, so I might just leave it at this. So let's call this hypothesis 1, and let's date it. Because I think I might want to revisit this. Let's call this new habit regimen development. This is in my index file. All right, so let's add how to decouple, or how to support a restart. Why am I calling them restarts? I should call them starts. Now, restart implies a implies continuity of some kind. I'm going to call this something like a project starts and resumes, or continuations, or building. Something that implies continuity and beginning. Actually, let's call these like a fresh starts. That has some of the association with getting started early in the morning. First start session. I think 1, review the goal statements for the month. It should be in one place. Rewrite the goal statement so it's always short and there's always a reminder of what's important to me. Do not combine to-do, chores, and responsibilities on the same place as the fresh start. At least it's not shutting off. That's because I don't want the distraction. If I'm doing a fresh start, I'm not thinking about chores. Chores are for other time periods. Other times. I'm not sure when. I mean, it all has to get done, but it's a matter of prioritizing. So the key one is review the goal statement. My goal statement. So you're showing up? Yeah. Oops. Alright, so this is as far as I'm going to go into it. I'm tempted to like really dig into this, but I think that would be overkill at this point. What I should do is just make the goal statement, which is the goal statement is in my index, my quiver index. So let's go back to that. So that is the process here. And it's in global continuity. Nope. You know, I'm going to kill this continuity thing. Oops. Because this was good for reviewing. Oh wait, did they add nested notes? I remember reading something about that. Oops. Nope. You can nest notebooks now, I think. What just happened? Okay, that should be... So the October 17 challenge, these are goals. This is, let's call this the refresh. Refresh anchor. October 2017. So this is the goal. And so what I should do is rewrite this, look for something to do on this. And then I need to find some way of bridging from here into reaction. And that's where I'm a little lost. So let me just add some stuff to the top of this. Oops. That's odd. Oh, I'm in the... Make a note to myself, rewrite this every day as intended. If needed, rewrite this every day as needed. So let's do that. So let's get rid of this. My goal is to close long-standing projects for good. So this is where I might paste my Groundhog Resolutions Day. Or maybe the first habit is ritual. I need the ritual. Reread my Groundhog Day resolutions. So I remember. That is what I'm missing. And goals. And therefore are more likely, I mean, to have them top of mind. I think that's something I've been missing. I have not been rereading my goal, and I don't have too many goal places. So actually, I'm going to forget about that. Why is this not? Oh, because this is not marked down anymore. This is an actual text cell. It doesn't look like I have the ability to change the text size. These are projects. I guess I could assign dates to these too if I wanted to, but this is the Nerd Magazine is no longer a key project, but clothing is. Or this is like this is personal style. Maybe I need to write the reaction. All right. No, this might be a good time to duck out because I am about to reread my Groundhog Day resolutions post. I don't think anyone's watching though, so I'll probably be okay. Oh, there is someone watching. Huh. Who are you, mystery person? So, I'm just going to read this out loud. This might actually be a good, interesting test. I've wondered, like, if reading blog post articles would be a good way of, well, just creating some content. I haven't been writing them in a while, but I forget how long this one is. I don't know how to read the whole thing. All right, here it goes. Nothing. Suddenly I'm embarrassed. This month's Groundhog Day resolutions report took a long time to write, primarily because I had forgotten a lot of details since February. To make it easier to pick up next month, I put in a ton of hours making a summary of major insights and decisions. This is now located on the expanded GHDR 2017 page, and hopefully can be understood as a narrative arc. With luck, the review process will be easier next time. Okay, I see something that's already not working about this. I'm focusing on reading this, not actually understanding it. So let me start again. This month's Groundhog Day resolution report. It took a long time to write. I had forgotten a lot of details. Okay, that's bullshit. Or it's not bullshit, it's just intro. How did the month go? I think I've clawed my way back from the brink of nihilism and rebuilt my foundation of optimism. That is important. Let's see. What is that? I need my job codes? No. What's insights? I need, actually I don't need that anymore. I just put this as a note area. So I'm going to make a summary of the Groundhog Day resolutions and read that. Summary of last month's GHDR Club. This is like a hopeful statement. The plans moving forward are these. Executive plan summary. I've been fed up with the lack of progress in long-standing plans. So I went back and I forgot about this list I made. Starting directives. I made this whole directive channel. This was actually a useful reference. I completely forgot I had made this. I think I had written... Actually, let me read this a bit. Again, this is actually similar to what I'm talking about. I had realized when I was doing my Groundhog Day resolutions that I had not... Let me see if I can find it. I was spending way too much time reviewing what I wrote, what I did, because I didn't remember. And so this was this was supposed to remind me of what I did. So these are rubbish talk, killing connections, self-anchored, this is an important key statement. I'm sorry, like kind of half thinking and half talking, so I'm probably not making a lot of sense right now. This key statement here, to explain what I was thinking, is the idea of becoming a self-anchored source of joy myself. And I think to get that is to kill my desire to connect with people. More accurately, it would be say to kill my desire to connect with people for some kind of affirmation, or as a source of joy, because I don't think you can't rely on people for that. And if you expect it from another person, I think that's not a healthy attitude. But if I can convert myself to become more self-anchored as a source of joy, I mean, that goes into like the expression myself. Things like, like if I like wearing nail polish, I'm going to wear nail polish, not because social norms say I shouldn't, and not because I'm afraid of that stuff. I mean, this actually brings me joy, and it's kind of delightful. It's also maybe weird or non-mainstream, but again, become self-anchored is, I think, part of that. I mean, if I can, like, instead of like being embarrassed by this and wondering what people think, but it's like, dude, this is an amazing color. Look at this thing. It glows in the dark, or it has unicorn sparkles in it, and that's so delightful, right? Not everyone's going to be into it, but if I express that, I think there's some infectious quality about that, and people in general, I think, should be more. I wish people could feel free to let that kind of stuff out and not be afraid. And so I want to be an example of that. So the idea of moving forward and directly is the daunting challenge. That's where we're putting down here. Looking forward. These are the two goals. And then these were the strategies. Oh, man, I really should have reread this. Actually, I guess the closing stage one of the project was the thing. So, this note, I'm going to copy this into the Quiver document here. This is ritual creation now. Okay, here's the distillation. Distill this down. Distillation. And so I think I'm going to go to Starbucks and actually do this writing work. And so, but first, so I'm suspending doing some to-do list stuff, so I'm going to make a note of that in here. This now the ETP becomes my continuity journal, which is not a bad thing, not a bad role for it. Let's see, this light placement is always tricky. So what is it? This is Tuesday. Is this on the camera? Yeah. Tuesday, October 24? Yep, that's showing up. I woke up at 3. And my rest of the day looks like I'm going to put here a note. Try to sleep. Things I want to do today are create a ritual. Ritual anchor. I know what that means. Ritual for ritual refresh, let's call it. I'm gonna make a note here. See the October 24 what's up to get overview. Let's start that. What time is it now? This is 4:42, and I have been streaming for how long? 40 minutes. So that means I started this at 4, really? Around 4 o'clock? Up at 3 or 2. It doesn't matter. What's up, Dave? Number, what is it? Number 193. And so I guess I can call that done, because I'm going to shut this thing off right now. So that's where I am right now. I'm going to go to Starbucks, which I will just now write down here in the second thing. Starbucks writing, just to get out of the house too. I also need to remember, which I'll put on this, is that I have a doctor's appointment. Oh, here. Thursday at... So yes, that's the next thing I need to do. So, in the past when I was doing ETPs, I would retranscribe the notes each time instead of using... I thought about using something like this, but that was when I was using individual sheets, and it was easy to compare them side by side. This is probably maybe the way to go. The way to go, so long as I remember to do this. So I need to work the ETP into the ritual as well. So, damn it, cat. The cat keeps changing the scenes on me. So, I just gotta do it again. You can see what is going on over here, because it's funny. There's the cat. This is the scene switcher that keeps rubbing his head on. Yeah, so that's it for now. So check in tomorrow and we'll see how this went. If you're in the chat room, you'll probably post periodic reports on that. But for now, that's What's Up Day for today, Tuesday, October 24th, and I hope you had a good day. My day is just beginning, and I'm trying not to feel like I've wasted opportunities. Because I haven't. I'm up. I'm awake. I should be able to get something done, and we'll see what that is. Thanks for watching. Talk to you later. No, don't do that. Nope, 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 nope.